So we'll just start with 3 big breaths to clear out anything that's happening and just arrive and settle here. With your eyes closed, have your hands resting at the legs. A couple more breaths. Some very small movements here with your eyes closed. Just lean back just a little bit. And lean forward a little bit. Not very much, maybe an inch or 2. And back. Kind of this very small sway forward and back. And notice what happens in your legs as you lean back. If there's anything that happens in your pelvis or your low belly. And lean forward just a tiny bit. Now with your eyes closed and breathing, bring your awareness into the pelvis and the direction of the tailbone. As you lean forward and back. And we're going to start building from the tailbone, which pushes out just a little bit naturally. This beautiful forward and back movement of the spine. That alignment. So breathe down and try to start lifting the spine upright. So we find where we're not leaning back or forward. A little bit along the way, you might need to lean forward or back to find your alignment again. Just kind of noticing where that is and what it feels like within your body to be upright. If anything is trying to maintain that for you, like your outer hips, you might need to adjust your legs. And when you find that feeling of straight up, gentle, blink open the eyes. And just kind of notice, you can look down and notice if you are straight up. Am I stacked? My shoulders over my hips? Am I actually leaning back or forward still? I'm pretty aligned, but it feels like I'm leaning back. Just a little experiment. We'll just come into our cat-cows. Just a little experiment. Maybe you notice it would help to have a pillow under your tailbone, or if you have one there, maybe you notice you are better off without it. The natural shape of the spine from the tailbone is a little bit back. The low part of the back of the spine comes forward. The thoracic comes back a little bit. And then the neck comes forward. So we get this beautiful wave. Keep going through your cat-cows. So find your upright and roll the shoulders. If it's nice to have your arms at the sides, if you'd like to bend the elbows to do it. Take the arms up, interlace the fingers to press them up. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the hands back up. Change your leg position if you like. Continue some cat-cows. Roll the shoulders down the back. Take the shoulder blades a little more towards each other. So we're working to see if we can open up across the chest more. Engage the outer shoulder blades. So it's like we're bringing the arm bones out a little bit more. Go ahead and let that go. Draw the low belly in, ribs in. Take your hands. This is a useful way to do it. So elbows hugging close and your arms straight out. So forearms out. And now rotate it. Keep your elbows hugged in and rotate it so your hands come out without necessarily pushing your ribs forward. And back in a little bit. And then do it again. And then let it go. One more time. Do it. Ribs in. Hug the elbow. So that part of the upper back at the shoulder and arm, that's those rotator. That's rotator cuff. That rotates your arm bones like a scroll. All right. Reach up. Exhale. Forward fold. All right, take the arms behind you. Same thing, that same area is doing this rotation for your arms. Lift up the heart, straight up, and let that go. Do it again. It's like we're inflating and deflating. One more time. And there it is. Take your hand, do some massage work down the wrist. I think that feels good. All of these little joints in there. I kind of like to just like let my wrist be really free and move it around, kind of shake it around in a weird way. Squeeze on your forearm. Change sides. The forearms can be like a wonderland of sensation. It's like we don't notice they're tight, but when you maybe massage them, it becomes like, wow, I didn't know there was so much going on in there. Squeeze down the forearms. Good. Let that go. Come on into a table. Keep moving through your cat-cows. Sometimes I hear cat-cows described as dropping and lifting the belly, and we're really thinking more like opening up the back and the front of the spine so that there's a lot more engagement than just a drop. Come up for a breath or two, upright to like this kneeling position. This could be an interesting thing as well. You might need to pad your knees. And try to notice where you're aligned here. If you like to close your eyes, this is kind of like mountain pose. You could have your toes tucked if that helps. Notice if it feels like you're drawing forward through your pelvis or back. If it feels like you're pushing your ribs forward. All right, just a little experimenting today. Come up to down dog. Here we are in down dog. Stretch it out, pedal your feet, shake your head out, open your mouth, stretch out the jaw slightly. Little bend in the knees and lift your hips up higher, like point with your tailbone. Up to the corner of the room, corner of the wall. Exhale, lower your heels towards the ground and step all the way forward. Come all the way up, bend the knees, rise up. Open up the arms, bring it down into the heart. Arms to the sides in your mountain, and here we'll sway again, forward and back. If you'd like to sway side to side as well, to just feel your balance in all directions. Find your stillness. Awesome. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Be here for a couple more breaths. Forward fold. See what you're holding on to and see if you could just let it go even for one breath. Come to your halfway lift. Lengthen out the spine. Exhale your right foot all the way back. And gentle, bring your knee down. Use your fingertips to the ground or blocks if you have them. Just to draw the heart forward a little bit, opening up the collarbones. Low belly in. Lengthen out your front leg just a little. Doesn't have to be a straight leg. It's not warmed up likely, so we can keep some bend in the knee. We're just taking the hips back, walking the hands forward. Draw the heart forward and step into plank pose. Lower all the way down, exhale down. Cobra. Exhale to down dog. Step forward. Half lift to full. And come all the way up. Return into mountain pose, take a breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift the left foot back. Exhale it back. Gentle the knee down. Fingertips. I like to use just like 2 fingertips so that I avoid loading weight downward into my arms. Rather, I'm using my core strength to lengthen out the spine and hold myself up from my core, not from my arms. The arms are stabilizing. Lengthen out your leg. Just as much before you feel sensation in the back of the knee. So if you do it, but you get a lot of feeling, bend your knee a little bit more. Walk your hands forward. Bring the weight forward, step back. Plank. Come down through your chaturanga. Inhale to your cobra. Exhale to your down dog. Step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Come all the way up. As you come up and down, you could do that more like swan dive, open arms into the heart and to the sides. You might have reasons to want to take it more neutral, like through the heart only. It's up to you. The swan dives tend to have that sense of grace and expansion, which is lovely. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Back when my shoulder was quite sensitive and injured, it wasn't so useful for me to do those movements. Halfway lift. Exhale the right foot back. Lower the knee down. Fingertips, draw the heart forward, and then draw your arms up. Inhale them up for a breath. Exhale, hands down, step back, plank. Chaturanga, exhale down, inhale up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. Notice your transitions, take them slowly. Step forward, half lift to fold. Rise up, into the heart, to the sides and up. Begin again, inhale up, exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. Halfway lift, and the left foot leads back this time. The knee down. Get this sense of strength, and then take it up to the sky. Inhale, big breath up. Exhale, hands down, step back, come through chaturanga. Exhale to your down dog. Step forward, half lift to fold, and rise up. To the heart, to the sides. Beautiful. Take your right foot and step it into crescent lunge, step it back. There, step forward. Take the other foot back to crescent lunge. Bring your hands down, step into plank pose. Knees up or down. Keep one line all the way from your heels or the knees into the top of the head, and take your right foot up. Keep that leg strong. Change legs. It's like your exhale is strong and it moves your body. Keep breathing. Lower your foot. Lower the knees. Lengthen out your hips back, lengthening through your arms. You're just stretching it out a little bit. Without coming into child's pose. Just this kind of hovering child's pose, maybe. Tuck the toes, hips up to down dog. Reach your right leg up, three-leg dog, straight back. Sink into your left heel. Lift up that leg a little higher. Sink back into your left heel. Ooh. Rotate your hip open so the toes are rotating up towards the ceiling without the shoulders or the elbows moving. Exhale, bring it back to a line and step your foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Use your core strength and reach your arms up. A big breath. Exhale, hands down. Let's take this little bit of twist. Hand underneath your shoulder, other hand above the knee, somewhere on the leg. You might walk your foot out a little bit. And just a little bit of twisting motion, the heart towards the knee. And then we soften into it and then do it again. So I just have this, a few degrees really of rotation from about the ground to about the knee. Good. When you get your twist, stay there. Let it go. Walk your foot back in. Step back. Lower both knees down. Stretch out your hips. Arms anchored, long stretch. Just to let go of pressure on the wrists and stretch out through the shoulders. Come forward into your plank and come to your chaturanga. Exhale, up dog or cobra is your inhale. Exhale to down dog. In your down dog, feel your hands on the mat. And notice if you could ground any more into any part of the hand other than the wrist. It might be subtle. Take your left foot up. Sink into your right heel. Lift your leg higher and sink into your heel. Rotate your hip open. Exhale, align and step your foot forward. Same thing. Gentle, lower your knee. Ground in and rise, reach up. Exhale, hands down, and we'll start getting into that feeling of twist. So, sometimes to feel what's happening, if you have a block for your lower hand or something to cushion it, that might be nice. With the hand that's at the knee, do it this way. Take your hand to the lower side body. So the right, if my left foot's forward, my right side body. And as you twist, kind of feel it twist and become stronger. And unravel, you feel it soften, and then do it again. So we're getting the strength of the twist from this lower side body. And then hold there. And exhale. Step back into place. Step back into your plank. Lower the knees and stretch it out. Stretch your hips back. Come forward to plank. Come through chaturanga. Up dog cobra. Exhale into down dog. Step all the way forward. Half lift, fold, release. Slowly rise up. Come into mountain. Exhale in your mountain. Oh. Good. From mountain, we're just going to come into flying, but we're going to come into it by standing on the left leg, bend the right knee. So the legs are still glued together at the thighs. Arms at your sides. And then kick your leg out as you draw your heart forward. Try to come back just like you went in. Leg to the side, arms to the side, and release your foot. So the feeling in the upper back and the shoulders is the same thing as when we did it like this and rotated the elbows close in and the hands a little bit out. Same thing, but the arms are at the sides. Here we are. Stand on your right leg, bend the left knee. The knees are level. And fly. Extend your leg, extend your heart. Come back. And let it go. Good. Take your right foot, rotate it out, and step back into warrior one. Feel your back foot, the Achilles tendon, front knee over the heel. Take the arms behind you, interlace the fingers. Same thing, that same part of the upper back and shoulder. Draws the arms, rotates them, shoulder blades towards each other. Exhale, round your head inside of the knee. Use that cat spine, that strength through your core. Again, so we're not hanging off of the back. We are supporting it from the front. Lower the hands. Rise, lift up your heart. Let go of the hands, lengthen out your leg into pyramid. Exhale. All of the options for your pyramid. You can have the hands resting on blocks, holding onto the legs, hands on the ground. Bend your knee and rise up. Come into your airplane, fly again. So to get there from this longer stance, you might step your foot forward first and then fly. You might be playing with this lengthened lifting of the leg straight up. Land to mountain pose. Step the other foot back. Here we go. Hands behind you and release the fingers, lift up that heart. Exhale, round. Head inside of the knee, humble warrior. Front knee over the heel. Strong back leg. Rise slowly. Pretty incredible. That ability to lift ourselves from within and fly. Exhale. Kind of a turbulent flight today. Exhale to mountain. All right, let's clap forward and back a little. Take the arms and stretch them across the body so you can hold on in whatever way you like. I sometimes hold on at the elbows, just helps me, but you can stretch it across however. Other arm. And let that go. Coming down to your chair pose. Thank you for doing yoga with me. You make me do this. Low belly in, and we're doing that side step, side to side. So we're rising up. If you like to open up the arms almost like this little back bend, and bring the hands back to the heart, step your right foot out. So it's a wider chair. Squat. Up. And down. Hands to the heart, and then lift up big. Step the left foot out, come down into chair, hands together at the heart. Helps, pushing the hands together helps to activate the pelvic floor. That gives us more support from below. Up, in, up, to the side, back and forth. So we get into the middle and we come down. The same pressing together could happen with the hands overhead, although that can be a little strenuous on the shoulders, depending on your shoulders. A couple more times side to side. You got this. You're breathing. Your jaw is soft. Your eyes are soft. No big deal. My legs are shaking, but my breath is smoothing it out, re-regulating back into center. Okay, arms to the sides, mountain. Excellent. Stand. We're gonna do a tree pose, so I wanna just bring it back into midline. Stand onto your left foot. Hug the right knee up. Open anywhere other than the knee to press your foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot. Same, check your alignment. Check the alignment through the spine. Check that your torso is still forward, your pelvis is still forward. If it's rotating to the bent knee, draw it forward. Regardless of what that does to the knee, if it makes it draw forward too, no problem. That's where it wants to be. Let go. Other side. Open out. Check your alignment. Make sure you're not loading your weight out into the outer hip or lifting up. And bring it in. Good job. Excellent job. Please step out wide onto your mat and we'll get into that wide forward fold. And we'll be here for probably like 4 more breaths at least. So take nice big breaths. Feel into what you feel. Do what feels good to you. If it's just being here, or if it's moving side to side. One more breath. Okay. Let's come up. Open out to the left. In warrior 2 position, kind of like come up and sink in a little bit. Testing the waters. Find it into side angle. Notice where you're stretching through your upper side body. See if you could regulate it from your shoulder into your hip, into the side altogether, the ribs. And come up into triangle. Bend your knee, reverse your warrior up and over. Exhale, hand down, rotate your foot back into wide forward fold. Bend into one knee at a time, and if you like to, as you bend into one knee, walk your hands to the opposite foot. Other side. Walk your hands forward, lengthen out both legs. Little half lift with the hands underneath the shoulders. Exhale, soften towards a forward fold. Bend your knees and come back up. Open out to the right. Have to go so slow. Rise and sink on the right side. When you find it, come into your side angle. Beautiful work. Come on up. Triangle pose. I'm so impressed with all of you. You never know that dedication can be seen and felt through cameras. Bend your knee, set yourself up to reverse warrior. So not even is it just coming up, it's coming up and over. Point to the wall behind you, up and over. Beautiful, let it go. Rotate and back to forward fold. Slowly rise up. Heel toe the feet together, shake it out. Step on back to the front of your mat. Come into your forward fold. Ragdoll, sway side to side. Step back all the way, plank pose. Lower down your knees, come back into child's pose. Thread the needle, coming up to tabletop. You can do thread the needle from child's pose as well. Take your arm up and thread it through. Sometimes people press their palms together. Sometimes people just press into their hand to rotate. Try to keep your hips relatively level, thread the needle, or take your hand and thread it across the low back to deepen your twist, if you like. Slowly come out the way you went in, everything in reverse. And change. come out as you went in. I think this is like an open twist when the legs and pelvis are stable, but the torso is opening and twisting. Let that go. Take a few more cat-cows here just to really feel the freeness of the body at this point. Maybe you sway it side to side or take circles in your pelvis. And we're coming into a frog. So I'm going to turn this way to do it. From table into frog, take your knees out wide. And then sink back. And that'll gauge what it feels like. It's like child's pose with the knees very wide. And maybe that's good. Maybe you want it a little wider to sink back. I do flex my feet just like one would imagine for a frog. You get to the place where you might come down to the forearms. Come out slowly. One hand, the other hand, one knee, and the other. Good, good. Sink back to child's one more time. Just a big letting go in child's pose. Come up to your seat. So I want to take the left knee forward, and we're taking this twist with the knee forward and the other above. Knees and toes, same direction. Hug the elbow around that knee, give it a hug, and here we go to twist. So I guess if the one twist is an open twist, this might be like a closed twist of sorts, where I'm twisting to my leg. I don't exactly know how to explain. Let go. From here, fire log, the leg that's on the bottom is still the one on the bottom. Just move its direction so the shins become more horizontal. Settle in. Take the chin down. Take your hands to your sides, press into the fingers, arm bones back. I'll just, with the legs doing what they're doing, letting the knees soften, the hips soften. We can stretch out side to side. My chin's down towards my armpit. And then it crosses the heart to the other side. Bring it up. The leg that's on top, stretch it forward. And this foot can come in like tree pose to our fold. Other side. So now this extended leg becomes the bottom leg to twist. Use your elbow. Maybe you bring the elbow to the outside of the knee. Coming out, the bottom leg stays the bottom leg, change its position to fire log. Sometimes we get into leg positions and just need a breath to settle into it and just let things be what they are. It's like a little blanket. It's down. Good. Let's take the arms up. We'll just give a little stretch for the shoulder. Up. Relax your hips. You might notice it might activate your hips. As if they're not already activated enough. Other side. So much gratitude for the body. Doing all of its incredible work. Let that go. Great, now the top leg is the extended leg. Up and over. Alrighty, time to lay down, lay onto your back. Hug your knees and rock a bit. Come to your happy baby. Bring the feet down to bridge pose. Lift up the heels and roll down into figure four. Change sides. And come out. Take both legs up. You want to hold on behind your legs and kind of draw them up further. With your legs up, take your hands and snuggle them kind of like under the glutes and framing the sacrum, if that makes sense, palms on the ground, so that the sacrum and the glutes have a little bit of support. Draw your low belly into the low back. The legs are up and there could be some bend in the knees. You might like to bring it to 90 degrees altogether. And we're just gonna play with core stability for the legs and keep the low belly grounded into the low back and make circles with your feet. So I'm taking my legs into circle motions, big or small. Notice when you lose control and bring it back into the core. Maybe there's an area that you notice it is more controlled than others, and that circle can become bigger as you're taking it overhead and then out to the sides, even forward. If your legs are extending forward like a boat pose, keep the low belly in, keep the low back on the ground. Out to the sides. Change direction of your circles. Could be small. I like to make it like a spiral where it starts small in the center and then it gets bigger, bigger. Send the legs out and let it go. Hug your knees. Bring the feet back down. One big stretch out through the front body into bridge pose. I exhale, lower down. Good. If it's okay to come into reclined butterfly with the legs open, if that's not supportive or comfortable, do it in daydreamer instead with the feet open and the knees together. If you have support of cushions nearby, I would definitely recommend that for butterfly. Having something under your knees. Close your eyes. Whatever leg position you're in, draw the knees up and we'll just come to twist. The easiest twist you can make. You just keep your eyes closed if you like. Letting go of effort, letting go of trying. Take that twist the other way. Stretch out into Shavasana.